Hello, welcome back to day 7 of Tradesmas. Today, we are going to review two trades that were placed on the 11th of November. And then I've talked a lot about how if I'm going against the overall stronger time frame, I keep that in mind, but I like to keep with the more immediate trend. This is one of those examples where I actually broke my own rules. I do have two trades that have been profit, but not very good far into profits. I have like a $60 win and a $46 and some change. That's about $100 or so for that day. It's something, but it's not ideal, especially when you can see that my take profit one zone was very clearly hit by the market. And a take profit two actually ends up getting hit as well. It's not in this screenshot, but it does get hit. That is frustrating for sure. I had broken my rules here, and looking back, I am now realizing, like, why did I do that? And why didn't I take a 1.5? Why did I do a 1R? These are the things you do when you go back and reflect on your trades, and this is why journaling is important. I do keep screenshots of all my trades. I do go back monthly like this. I just happen to be recording it for you for Tradesmas, but this is something that I do, and then I'll like kind of mark where I could have done better. And this is one of them. So you getting to do this with me in real time. I had looked at this and realized I should have been with the more immediate trend in this case. And the structure is all there. I should have not secured at 1R. I should have secured at 1.5R. Now, whether the results would have been much different, maybe, maybe not. It looks like probably would have maybe played out better for me, and I would have actually hit my take profit zone one. Maybe not 2, it's pretty wicky here. It might have ended up while I was trailing getting wicked out, but anyhow, this is definitely a learning point for me to be more aware of it and really think about what I was doing here. I did secure the trade, so it still works out that I did make $100 some that day, but could I have made more? Yeah, I definitely could have. My analysis was right, and like I said, that this goes further to the market goes and passes zone 2, clears it no problem. That is a bit frustrating, to see that I could have had my take profit 1 and 2 hit. However, though, on the plus side, I was right in my analysis, which always feels good to know that even if you didn't always get the profits from it. Let's get into the actual trade and why we took it. We had the most immediate trend and structure was bearish. That should have been our bias. And there was a 15-minute zone for an easy exit, but it was a little bit small. I have talked about this before. I also have it in the original strategy video about how I will extend around those if I feel that they're too tight as far as what they're capturing price action wise. I'll look for the top of that zone and like a bottom of that zone and capturing most of the price action in there. I just take the rectangle tool in trading view and I'll expand the support and resistance areas of that zone. And that's what I did here, just because that 15-minute zone was just a little too snug. The easy exit, though, is wonderful for drawing your eye to those areas, but sometimes you may need to just adjust a little bit. The other thing that was happening here for the price action people, you can see that at the support level, you're getting more pressure to the bearish side. There are a few touch points like for the support and the resistance sides, like to the top and the bottom of that box. But the top area where your resistance is, you're not getting many taps there, and they aren't creating any type of like higher breakout, really. They're just kind of tapping the top, respecting it, and coming back. Whereas the pressure at the bottom on the support, you're seeing that the wicks are getting deeper as they break out, but I never enter just based on that. I still wait for all the criteria. It's just something extra you can consider while you're waiting for an official breakout to happen. I do not count wicks as breakouts in case you're newer here and you don't know that. So these breakouts that are happening with the wicks, they don't count, but they are pressure. And I do take that into consideration. There was a breakout here. See that with this candle that I'm at first green arrow is pointing to. And there was a very smiley face. In hindsight, I guess that could have been an entry. I waited for the retest. You can see that the market does pull back into the box and then has another breakout again with another bearish smiley face. For me, that was like the breakout, the retest back into the zone, and then the continuation breakout that you're seeing. That candle does come and close lower than where the wicks were. That's also something that I like to consider as the body of the candle actually closing strongly outside of my zone. However, another thing I do, and I've talked about this in older videos, but I don't believe in any of the like more recent series have I explained this again. is that I look for risk to reward to be worth it. If that initial breakout, if that is not worth it for me to cover the full zone that I'm breaking out, because I haven't retested, I have to assume that the market can pull back in and potentially test anywhere in that zone. So I would need to put my stop loss at the very top of it. That's a pretty heavy stop loss, which is fine if the next zone that I'm targeting is going to be worth it. But in this case, it really wouldn't have given me very much. It would have looked more like 1-to-1. If that, honestly, that just isn't really quite worth it in this case, especially if you're going with the trend. Eventually, you will get that retest. I was just waiting, and that does happen. So the market pulls back in, and then it does break back out again with another bearish smiley face confirming trend continuation. And that is where I take it in at. I find that my better entries always come with my retest. You're going to get a better risk to reward because after a retest, you can keep that tighter stop loss. In my opinion, breakout trading is great if you're able to find a good risk to reward. But I really think that if you're still learning how to trade, the breakout and retest trading and waiting on those retests is where you're going to find better win rates and better quality trades. I did wait for that trend continuation. It looks really beautiful in this screenshot. Should have played out great. However, at the 1R, I did secure my trade and it ends up wicking back up, as you can see with this little wick here, because I do slight profits. I got wicked out. That is it for day 7's trade. And I will show you at this point, the account's at 9,537 and 40 cents. All right, that is it for day 7, and I will see you tomorrow.